Welcome back to episode 4 of Dissent into the Wormhole, where we discuss everything from ancient civilizations to modern day social issues and everything in between. I'm Les.
And I'm Stevie J. In today's episode, we're going to be diving deep into the topic of unconditional love and what is unconditional love. So grab your coffee or set the cruise control and let's get right into it.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent.
I'm very excited to be having this conversation because I feel like this is one that is like a lot of people think they know what unconditional love is. And we should say, well, it could mean something different to everybody, but we're going to get right into all of those different topics, all the different angles of love, unconditional love, friendships, relationships, and how it all relates. So yeah, I'm really excited to get into this one.
Me too. And as you said, because we're not taught this stuff in school, I feel we're kind of left to our own devices and left to, learn from our parents and our teachers and society. And they probably don't have it right either.
I would say there's a 99% chance that no, they don't get it right.
They don't, yeah.
And I wanted to bring up too, and this is going to be probably, well, I'm sure it will be another episode, but just talking about previous humans throughout history. So looking 10,000 years ago, 20,000 years ago, 70,000 years ago, and reading the book Sapiens is what I'm referring to. But in that, it talks about how skills were passed initially just from family to family, from tribe to tribe, less than 100 people. But in this society we live in today, there's so much information that it gets passed on in a governmental, usually, or societal format, and it's blasted out to everybody as that's what this is. That's what you need to believe, and this is how it is. So when it comes to all of those sort of spiritual things in a much smaller tribe of, say, 100 people, and it's passed on from generation to generation, they focused on a lot of those things, and even more so than what you'd expect. That was the key and pivotal thing to teach, was spirituality and love, and how to love the animals, how to love the plants, how to just appreciate your environment. And I feel like that has gone well by the wayside.
Absolutely. I think it was the tribe of Lemuria. They were the ones that just lived in perfect harmony and in pure unconditional love. And when they left, it kind of went with them. Well, actually, what I think we should start with, what do we think, what is love in general? What is it?
Right. It's the feelings that two people have between each other, which is a relationship.
Right.
And so for me, saying what is love, it's actually, and it's going to sound like a bit of a cop-out, but I really like to quote the Matrix on this. And so I'm going to quote the Matrix on this.
You do that.
But for me, and we'll obviously break it down a little bit further, but for me, what love is an individual feeling that is specific to the person who's feeling it.
Right.
Because no one can tell you how you feel.
Right.
Well, at least they shouldn't anyway.
Right.
But when it comes to the feeling of love, even yourself, you can't describe it.
No.
There's no words that can accurately describe how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
So the quote for the Matrix is he's talking to the Oracle, and she's basically saying, Neo, this is how you know you're the one. You can't tell anybody you're the one. No one can tell you you're the one. You just know it, balls to bones. and so understanding that most people, or a lot of people, maybe 50% of the population, don't have balls, but you get the idea of it. You just know it. It's something you just feel and and you can't describe.
Yes.
What does society call love, and what do the majority of people call love? Because I actually feel like it's a term that's been very, very watered down.
Yes.
And it doesn't have a lot of meaning these days for most people.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. People throw it around to get things, to just seem like a nice person, to do whatever it may be. They throw it around. And I think for society, for a lot of people, love is a big ass diamond ring. Love is, you do whatever I say. Love
Yeah.
is a house. It is the picket fence. It is the children. It is the massive wedding that, is going to cost you 5 years salary combined
Yep.
for one day. That I think that's what companies want us to think love
Oh,
is. Like
yes.
De Beers like labeled it. They're like, we are the love company. If you don't love, like, and there's
Yeah.
one commercial I remember years ago, and I don't even know if they're on anymore because I don't have cable, but it was for Jared. It's a jewelry store. And the entire thing was, oh, he must love you because he went to Jared.
When you're talking about corporations and love, let's have a look at how much money is generated on Valentine's Day. And
yeah.
And now I want to ask you this about
Yep.
Valentine's Day. On Valentine's Day,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel so much more love for your partner on Valentine's Day? Like, is that
10 times more. And if I get flowers and diamonds, 100 times more.
Oh, okay. See, that's amazing. And I'm so glad that you feel that way, because what it does is it really makes sure that Valentine's Day continues and that these corporations just get to make so much more money, which is such a blessing.
It really is. It's fantastic. It is fantastic. And every year I demand that I get more than I did the year before. Because how else are you going to prove to me that you love me? You got to prove it.
That's right. Exactly. You got to keep proving it. And and if you don't get all of that stuff, how are you going to feel good about yourself?
Oh, I can't.
How are you going to feel good about yourself internally if you don't get a shit ton of presents, like a mountain of presents? How are you going to feel good about yourself?
I can't, because all my friends are going to be judging me and my partner.
And I feel like the only action you could take, if you don't get a progressively escalating level of presents every Valentine's Day, is just kick someone to the curb.
Oh, absolutely. There is a bar that needs to be hit every year, and if you don't hit it, that's it. Out.
Well,
he's out.
People are actually like that. There are people out there, like we are joking. And
we are kidding. Yeah. Just being a-holes.
Because that's how we roll. But there's people out there who are actually doing that.
Yes.
Who are actually sitting there. Now, I'm going to say this from a woman's perspective, so you can correct me anytime.
Okay.
But in my experience, there's someone out there who is tapping their foot right now, looking at their watch going, or on Valentine's Day going, well, you think that's big enough?
Yeah.
You really think that's a big enough present for Valentine's Day, or a good enough present for Valentine's Day? Mm-hmm. Where's my ring? When there's love, and when our hearts are trusted and our intuition's trusted, it's right. Yeah. But our heads confuse it. Our heads say, and immediately, and I wanted to ask you this: have you ever had it where you feel something in your gut, you feel it in your heart, and your head immediately starts giving you all the reasons why that isn't possible, that's not right, that can't happen?
Oh, of course. My negative Nancy comes roaring right in, trying to screw everything up, and then I got to shut her down. And
can we get an APB out on Nancy, please? she's been negative.
So true. Yes.
And mine's a negative Nick, just so you know.
He's a reader, isn't he?
He is. He's a very learned individual. Also quite casual and good at serving hors d'oeuvres.
I love it. Well, we just need to keep his, tone down the negativity. But that's what our brains do, because our brains are conditioned by society and our friends and our families. And if you listen to the voices in your head, they're usually not your voice, especially the negative ones. The ones that are telling you can't do something, that you're not good enough, like, who do you think you are? It's not your voice.
If you actually just love yourself, like you said, love the other person, and allow them to be, just be. And you know what? If you do find that person you're compatible with, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what they do. Right. Because at the end of the day, even if you don't enjoy everything together, like, maybe I don't like rock climbing, that's fine. But you go do it, have the best time, and when you come back, we can enjoy each other's company again.
That's right.
And feel happy that the other person's happy. Yeah. So when we can do that, what you do, I feel like, is energetically you instill that in the other person, or the other person feels that. And so when they're out with the chads on the rock climbing wall, they go, these guys have got nothing on my dude.
That's
like,
right.
That's right. That's the feeling you have. Or, you know, in the reverse, like, you know, say these chicks, they got nothing on my girl. Like, that's the feeling that you have, because you're like, well, there's nothing but happiness. There's no boundaries. There's no restrictions. There's nothing. Like, I'm being allowed to be me, and we're just going on a journey together.
Yeah, I love it.
And
Anything
have
else?
a great day.
Yeah, that's it. Have a great day, guys. Bye.